Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of DEI in 5, bite-sized discussions on diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is episode 9, and today we are talking about House Bill 999. I laugh because I can't really wrap my head around the fact that I'm even talking about this, but here we are. Let's get into it. So last week on February 21st, 2023, House Bill 999 was introduced in Florida, which proposes to ban funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion related initiatives and programs at state universities, even super important here, even if they are privately funded. The bill, as you can imagine, has sparked a lot of debate and discussion among students, educators, policymakers, etc. And if this bill passes, it is going to have significant implications for education, not only in the state of Florida, but probably across the entire nation. If not world. There are a few things to note about the proposed bill. I want to just touch on a few of them. Obviously, this is DEI in 5, so this isn't going to be comprehensive by any means. I'll make sure I link some resources below, but I just want to touch on a few things. One thing that really stood out to me is that hiring decisions would be solely made by faculty if House Bill 999 passes, meaning that university presidents won't have a say in who gets hired. They can make recommendations, but it's up to the faculty if they actually take those into consideration. Also important to note is that tenure status could be reviewed at any time. And in the world of academia, tenure has long been protected. Again, not enough time in this video to really dig into it, but I will drop a link that specifically covers why this matters as it relates to tenure. Another thing to be aware of is that House Bill 999 would require universities, many of these universities in Florida, to rewrite their mission statements. So if there's anything in there as it relates to DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, the university is going to have to rewrite it. The bill, and this is probably the thing that grinds my gears the most, is that this bill proposes to ban any unproven curriculum in American history that is not based on creating a new nation using the principles of the Declaration of Independence. So this means that we're talking about majors or even minors that are covering things such as race or ethnic studies, so critical race theory, as the media has been up in arms about highlighting lately, gender studies, anything that covers intersectionality, all of that would be banned. So we're talking about entire departments and universities being erased. Your women's history department, clip. Your LGBTQ plus department, gone. African American studies, done. So we're talking about losing jobs. We're talking about students having no say over their education if those are areas of interest for them. We're talking about universities having to restructure their funding, their studies, their programs. All of this is truly like a domino effect, or would be a domino effect if this bill passes. It's also important to note, because I've heard people confusing the two, that House Bill 999 is not the same as the agenda that has been pushed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Very similar, but last year, Ron DeSantis's Stop Woke Act, and that is the name of it, was signed, I believe, April of 2022. It actually took effect July 1st, 2022. However, November of just this last year, so just a few months ago, there was a federal judge that paused parts of that act to prevent it from being enforced at the higher educational level. But not to worry, House Bill 999 is coming for us, right? I mean, my goodness. If this bill passes, like I said, it would have a significant impact not only on education, but if you think about it, it's going to have a really big impact on our organizations and company and society as a whole. DEI initiatives have been at the forefront of addressing systemic discrimination and inequality in various industries, and it's been like that for a while, really since the civil rights era. And removing them from education is going to have long-term consequences. We've already, been seeing from a corporate level, at least from my perspective in the work that I do, we're already seeing a lot of people pull back on their DEI initiatives in workplaces and in industries across the board. So a bill like this is just giving permission and validation to people who have already started to dial things back, or even just give them permission to completely ban efforts altogether. Of course, it's obviously a lot more nuanced than that, but this is DEI in 5, so I can't really go in depth. But I hope that this video at least helps you sort of understand some of the potential implications that House Bill 999 in Florida could have. I'll obviously be keeping an eye on the situation, as it is going to impact me and the work that I do and the people I care about. And hopefully you'll take some time to dive a little deeper. It's truly unfortunate that we're even at a point where not only is this a conversation, but an entire bill, like a bill in 2023, to essentially erase history. That is probably the most mind-boggling part of it. I mean, you don't have to rely on the internet. Go to your library. There are history books, centuries worth of history books that tell us how this country came to be. And we're just going to pretend like it didn't happen? I'm going to step off my soapbox for today. Thank you for listening. This is DEI in 5. I release these videos every weekday covering some topic as it relates to diversity, equity, inclusion. Please feel free to share it, like it if you enjoyed this content. Even if you didn't like it, you can still hit that like button, and you can, of course, subscribe. I will see you all back here tomorrow. Thanks for listening, as always. Until later.